Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about Razor component libraries. So in my previous videos I talked about how we can create components in our application and how we can reuse them across our application. But what if you are a freelancer or a student who's working on multiple projects and you want to use these components across your projects? That's when Razor component libraries come into picture. So what we're going to learn today, we're going to learn how to create a Razor component library project, and then we'll learn how we can consume this library. The best thing about these libraries are these are class libraries, so you can pack them and push them on NuGet and anyone can use it. And that way there are some free components like MatBlazor, which is like material design components for Blazor. And these components are free. It's an open source project, so you can download the DLL, download the reference from NuGet and start using it. And there are some paid versions of components too, which are for Telerik. And you can, if you're a freelancer and you want to make a good UI for your clients, then this is the best way to go for it, because you have to spend money to make money. So all right, let's first talk about how we can create a Razor component library project, and then we'll talk about other things. So I've been working on this authors page for this video series, and then I created a component for my server validations. Then I created a drop-down component for my cities here, right? And I want to use these two components across my projects. So and that's when I want to create a Razor class library, and then I can use these components in my other projects too. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create a different project. Different project of type Razor class library. I'm gonna say Razor class library, and I'm gonna name it as Curious Drive Razor library, and I'm gonna put it in my public folder so that you guys can have access to it too, and then create and select Razor class library. Great. Cool. Now we just recreated a project which is a class library, and it already has a component one, a component it already added, which we can use in our project. It's a component one. It doesn't really have anything. It has this Blazor component is defined in Curious Drive Razor library. So before I add my components into this project, I'd like to refer to this library and use this component to test it and see if it works or not. So first thing that you need to do is, you should build your class library, and it will create a DLL in debug folder, because I'm building in debug mode. And I'm gonna use this DLL in my Blazor app because I would like to debug my components. But when you push your application to production, make sure you change this to release mode, and then build and use that reference instead. So let's go ahead and add this this DLL in our Blazor app and see if it works or not. So to do that, I'm going to right click on my Blazor app and then go and add a reference. Go to browse and go to this Curious Drive Razor library, bin folder, and you can see this DLL here. Let's add that. All right, and if I want to use this component one, where did it go? This component one in my Blazor app, then what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna say I'm using Curious Drive Blazor library here, and I wanna use their component one component here. Sweet. Let's run this and see if this works. Cool. You can see that this Blazor component is defined in Curious Drive Razor library package, and we can totally use this component in our project now. All right, now let's move our components to our components to QoS Drive Razor library. So I have the select city and server validation components, which are shareable components. So instead of keeping these components in my Blazor app, what I'm going to do, I will select these two. I will actually cut these two components and then go to QoS Drive Razor library and paste it here. And then you can see in your QoS Drive Razor library the select city component and server validation component. All right, whenever you add a component or make any changes, make sure that you build your application, and then you can have a latest version of DLL, which is referring back to our Blazor app. And now if you want to use, now that I've cut those, I removed those server validations and select city components my shareable, you can see that it's throwing error. And you can use this using statement in authors to get rid of that error. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this using statement and put it in imports.razor here. The way this import razor works, if you add a using statement in this razor page, then you do not need to add the using statement in the components which are in the same folder. So you can see that component 1 is saying that QoS Drive Razor library component 1, even without using the using statement. And if I go to authors page, I'm not using the using statement here, but also you can see Razor validations and select city is popping up here, and you can see that it's pulling it from QoS Drive Razor library. Sweet. Let's run this and see if this works. I'll rerun this. All right. If I go to my authors page, you can see the city is coming. City is coming from my Razor library. And if I try to add a person here, I'll add John Smith and select city and save it. You can see that John Smith has been saved successfully in my table, and it's showing the server validation from my class library. So this is how you can create a library of your components and use it across your project, just like I used it in this project. And there are some free components online too. So like I mentioned in my slide here, that the MatBlazor is a there are some free Blazor components like MatBlazor. This is a material design Blazor components for Blazor, and they have mentioned the steps how you can integrate this component in your project and use this component. There are so many components out there this is an open source project, and if you're a student and you want to make your UI look good, this is the best way to do it. And you can see there is the stable component too, which looks pretty cool, and you can have paging, you can have filter, and I've gone ahead and added that component in my Blazor app. To do that, you can go to manage new Git packages, and here you can see that I've used MatBlazor, and in my packages you can see that MatBlazor, I've used it and embedded Blazor content. And I've actually gone ahead and used one of the components from there, the table component that I just showed you. So I've added that material design table component in my publisher page, and this is how it looks like. So you can see the city is coming from my library, and this component, which looks something like this. Let's go to the page. If you go to publisher page, you can see that I'm using mat table here, not HTML table, and this is how it looks like. So there are really cool free components in MatBlazor that you can use, and their material design. But if you're a freelancer and if you want to spend some money to make your UI look better, you can totally go to Telerik, and Telerik has really cool components which look like this, and they have default grid or bootstrap or material design grid, and there is a code associated with it. They also have charts that you can show data on. Then there's date picker. for bootstrap and material design and different cool drop downs that you can check it out. It's a little pricey. If you go to their pricing, you can see that you'll have to spend around $1,300 to get it. But I think it's a good purchase if you're a freelancer and you're already making some money through your clients. So it's a good purchase to make your UI look really cool. So yeah, that's all about Razor libraries. If you have any questions, you can follow me on Twitter or Facebook. And if you have any questions about how to use this MatBlazor, you can post a comment on my YouTube channel. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel for latest videos. This is Fahad. Thanks for watching the video. See you soon. Bye.